gentlemen, welcome to the Igniting Dreams Within podcast. I am your host, Ebenezer Maolo, and this lovely afternoon, I'm chilling with the brilliant Lebohang. Lebohang, how are you this afternoon?
I'm fine, thanks for you.
I am good.
Thanks for having me on your podcast today.
It's a great pleasure. Yeah, and tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Lebohang? Where is she from? Where did she grow up in? What type of environment is she from?
Okay, well, Lebohang is just your typical girl from the township, but I guess my dreams are not so typical. Growing up, I'm the only girl out of 6 boys from my dad's side, and I'm the first child from my mother. So my parents, they separated when I was very, very young. I was about a couple of months old. Then I was brought up by my stepfather and mother for the age of 2 years. So growing up in that home, there was a lot of challenges for me in terms of guidance, because I was one child who was always told to sit still, like behave, like, you have to like toe a line, like children are just meant to be seen and not heard. I grew up in that type of environment. So for me, it was always frustrating because I am very opinionated. I'm like, I'm one thing in my head, like I just have to see it. So growing up was very tough. But eventually I did my grade 12. Then when I was supposed to go to university, my parents, actually my stepdad, decided that, you wouldn't pay for school. So I had to figure out what to do with my life. Well, they said I had to go to, those FET colleges?
Yeah.
So I refused to go there because I would see people dropping out of high school around grade 10.
Okay.
Colleges. And I was there up until grade 12. Then now I'm told that instead of going to university, I have to go to an FET college.
Okay.
I was like, no ways, because my results qualified me for to get in as an undergraduate for a degree, you see.
Okay.
I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So yes, after that, I think I was at a place where most people find themselves, where you just feel lost. Life just has no direction, because when you are a scholar, all you know is just to go to school every day, and once that stops, it's like life just becomes unknown, uncertain. You just don't know what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're supposed to do it,
Yeah.
So after that, I stayed for a year at home, didn't go to school, did nothing, just stayed at home. Then I got pregnant.
Okay.
So that's when my life actually changed.
Okay.
I think having a child, I grew up.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I grew up. I had responsibility. To me, it's like now I had something to live for.
Yeah.
You see, like this is something that was pushing me. It's not something I would recommend that at the age of 19 for pregnancy, for you to get a purpose on like what to live for. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying like that is what happened to me. And my child was my driving force in everything.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, without the correct education, with just a matric, I just worked those odd jobs. I've been a cashier at Truett, to working at a non-profit organization for children who are infected and affected by HIV and AIDS. But as someone who is a Christian woman, I know that everything that happens in life, it works together for my good.
Yeah.
So even at those times when I couldn't see why I found myself in those environments.
There seems to have been some technical difficulty there.
Okay.
Yeah, and you were still telling me about after you got pregnant and you found yourself working in non-profit organizations, and that you saw it, like now reflecting back on it, you saw it as God's purpose had worked out for good. You can continue on that.
Yes, that's true. Like I said, when you are going through those situations, it's very difficult for you to even see it as some sort of purpose or a plan, God's plan that you're supposed to go through, because at that time you can't see what's going to happen. You can't see into the future, so it actually puts you in a very frustrating place, because as people, we just always want to know where we're going, what we're doing, like you never actually trust the process. You see? I think that's what our problem is. But yes, so I found myself working at a non-profit organization, and then what had happened is one day I was just at the reception desk, and there's a call that came in from the Department of Social Development, and they were looking for women who had children, who had matric. So there was just a criteria, like you just had to be black, you had to be a woman, you had to have a child, and I fit into that criteria. And immediately while I was just standing there, I just submitted my name, So I was accepted into that program. It was supposed to run for 3 years. It was supposed to run for 3 years. Okay. And then what happened is the Department of Social Development had partnered with one other NGO, whereby they were paying them to pay us. So they placed us in different NGOs. So I was placed at an NGO that was closer to where I live. So where I was placed, it was called Buisa Ubuntu, which is a food bank. Buisa Ubuntu falls under another NGO called Siyabonga Africa. So what that means is Siyabonga Africa actually administers Buisa Ubuntu Food Bank. Yes. So I worked at the food bank. At the food bank, it's all about delivering food parcels to the people that they really, really need the food, you see. So when I got there, I made a promise to myself. I said, I'm going to do whatever I have to do ethically to get myself employed, because I will not complete this internship. That was my plan going in there. So if it meant that I had to make tea, I would do it. If I had to mop the floor, I would do it. Like, I would do whatever I had to do, you see. Like, nothing was above or below my job description. That's the type of person that I am. So going in there, I worked in the office. Well, the manager, he called all of us in, and he was like, he wanted to work on our talent. Like, whatever you were more gifted in, that's what you would focus more on. So I worked in the office. I worked with the beneficiaries. What I would do is we wanted to go far beyond just giving someone a food parcel. So we would try to get a change agent in that home. If maybe someone could go to school in order to change the situation, because a food parcel was just a temporary relief type of situation, you see. So we wanted to implement a more permanent type of situation. So I would be in contact with your colleges, people that would give me bursaries and things like that, just to get the beneficiaries on their feet. So I worked at the food bank. There were 6 of us as interns. I worked at the food bank I started working there in February up until October. In October, the CEO, which was based at Siyabonga Africa, came to the food bank, and she just called me aside and said, I've been watching you, your manager, because he does monthly reports on us that he has to send to the NGO that initially placed us at their NGO. So she said, I've just been watching you, and I love your work ethic. How about you come and work with me at Siyabonga Africa? So I moved from Siyabonga Africa. I moved from the food bank, and I worked which is their main office now, which is Siyabonga Africa. So I worked there as the CEO's PA. I got to do rounds whereby I was working with people who, like, how Chase It is, there's a department for like small businesses, whereby they would get companies to use their, what do you call that money they have to give back again? From the monthly, from the yearly tax.
Oh,
I just forgot the name of it. But there's money that they have to give back.
Okay.
So what they would do is they would give that money to the NPO. Then the NPO would give them a document to say that they spent that money with them.
Yeah.
So that helped them in their tax. So what we would do with that money is we would implement bakeries all around South Africa.
Okay.
For people, yes. So we were implementing bakeries, we were implementing chicken farms where people could actually have their chickens and have egg layers, and they would actually establish their own businesses. I saw some people go from sleeping on the street to actually owning 3 bakeries. Wow. You see, just through the everything that is taught at the NPO. You see, like they give you guidance, they find the funding for you based on your commitment, your potential, you see, to see it through. Okay. So like that was the type of environment that I was in. But my problem is I'm a creative person. Okay. Hence, I reach my ceiling very, very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
If an environment is not challenging for me, I lose interest. Because I need to be challenged daily. I need something. I need to learn. If I'm not learning, I just become dormant. Like I'm no use. And my boss, the CEO, she was one of the people to actually see that thing in me. She said, when I give you something to do, you do it and you do it excellently. And then for you, it's over. It's done. It's like, what's next? What's next? You know, and when you are working in an NPO, the funds are limited, so there's only so much that you can actually do. You see. So, but what she used to do is when she went for training, she went for tax training or anything like that, she would take me with her. You see, so I would always be getting some sort of skill. But what she did is she threw me in the deep end. Now, this whole social media thing was now coming to play.
Okay.
So now, as the NPO, they wanted to establish a social media presence.
Okay.
So she threw me in that. She said, you will figure it out.
Oh, okay.
No one has had training. You will figure it out. And now the thing is, you know, with us, social media was just your chatting sort of places where you just social with people that you know, you just uploading photos and things like that. But now it had to go to business, and I had no clue what that was about.
Okay.
So that's where the challenge for me came in. So lucky enough, there was one NPO which is called Inyathelo from Cape Town. Okay. They actually train a lot of NPOs, and they were holding a social media sort of training day. Okay. So my boss and I went there, and yeah, I can say I learned a lot from them.
Okay.
At that time, like I'm saying, when things happen to you, you don't understand why.
Yeah, true.
Because I can say to you, as you know me and you know what I do, those steps were the founding steps to get me where I am today. But at that time, I did not understand. I did not see it. I did not know it. You see. Yeah. So I did that. I took on the NPO's social media presence, and I can say, I was doing quite well with it. But like I say, the problems were the funding, the finances. You know, you have to run marketing on Facebook, and there's things that you have to pay for. So with everything being limited, it was kind of you could have ideas, but your ideas had to be boxed. They had to fit into a certain box because you could not go over. You see. So those are the things that I was faced with. And then I moved from the NPO. I started working for a branding and marketing company. Okay. Now, this is where everything just moved to a grander scale. Okay. because I had no idea what even branding does for a company. Why there's a reason for branding, you see. So going there is just another step up that I took to learn about branding and marketing. But before I forget, remember I said to you, when I got there as an intern, my whole purpose was not to leave as an intern.
Oh, yes.
And by the time I was working for the CEO, they had actually offered me a contract.
Oh.
And I left my contract with social development.
Okay.
And I was now employed by Lebohang Africa. I was the only one out of the 6 interns there that was ever employed by Lebohang Africa.
Okay.
It actually the contract actually came to an end with social development, and they were never offered employment with Lebohang Africa to this day.
Oh, wow.
I was the only one who was offered employment. So for me, those were one of the things that proved to me that when I go into something and I give my all and I focus on it, it shows me what you can actually, sometimes when they say karma, like you call things to come to you.
Yeah, true.
So it depends on the energy that you're putting out. It depends on what you're telling yourself is going to happen. It depends on what you give on a daily basis.
Yeah, true. That's very true.
That actually will determine what outcome you actually get from the situation, you see.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I was from the intro there. Like I said, I started working for the branding and marketing company. Unfortunately, my stay with them was a very, very short one. I only started working there in October, and by January, I resigned.
Oh, okay.
And the reason I resigned is because ethically, how the business ran was not aligned to me and what I wanted, you see.
Okay.
I'm one of those people that when I'm not happy, I cannot stay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I couldn't stay because I wasn't happy.
Okay.
Yes, so, but the thing with me is I always had that thing that I think I'm not employable.
Okay.
I think I'm not employable because I have such standards. And I don't think I can live up to those standards as an employee.
Oh, yeah. And boxed also.
So I think that's when I just decided I had to create an environment where I could flourish.
Okay.
On my terms, you see.
Yeah.
Yes. So, that is the story of Lebohang.
That's a very brilliant and inspiring story. And I want to take a step back, Nyana, because, especially maybe from my side, I've been conducting a statistic, maybe it hasn't been a formal thing. But one thing I also noticed is that amongst all of the girls or the women who take maybe a gap year out of school, it's almost guaranteed that maybe 90% or more of them would eventually have children or something along those lines. It's just that this hasn't been a formal study. And now maybe there's someone who's listening to this podcast and maybe they themselves have had a child, because I've seen a lot of girls who have children and the reaction that they have, it's a bad one. Now, you didn't react badly to that situation. You saw that as a driving force, as a motivation for you to work harder, to be more driven, more passionate, that you even committed that you would even pay your dues when you go to work. You would do whatever it takes. And yet there are other women or other girls who, after they've gotten a child, they leave the child to their mother, or maybe they are granny, they don't take care of the child. That child, it's sort of like maybe a barrier, if I may, that maybe they don't take care of the child, or they don't have the drive that you had. What was it that, or what is it that made you have a different mindset apart from what we see regularly?
Okay. I've seen a lot of the women that you're talking about, and the thing for me is, when I started off, I explained the kind of environment that I grew up in. So as I grew up with my mother and my stepfather, for me at home, I was never spoon-fed, if I can put it like that.
Okay.
My mother is a very strong and hard person. So there was never a point whereby I was babied in anything.
Okay.
I grew up before my time. Like, I had to grow up because it was like, you have no other choice. So when I got pregnant, my mother, she actually said to me, her mother didn't take care of her children, so she was not going to take care of my children. If I was old enough to have children, then I'm old enough to take care of my children.
Okay.
At that point, and I'm sure with anyone else, it might seem harsh, you know, because I'm just a teenager, you know. But I actually thank my mother.
Wow.
I thank my mother because even, okay, I've got 2 children now, but as we're talking about the first child, when I got pregnant at 19 and I gave birth at 20, another playing factor was the kind of partner that I had.
Okay.
My boyfriend at that time was he's a supportive person.
Okay.
He comes from a background whereby he is taught values and principles, responsibility more than anything. So when I got pregnant, and I can actually remember the day when I said to him, I'm pregnant. And he just said, okay. Just like that. He just said, okay. And I was like, why are you saying okay? It's not okay. I'm pregnant. But then he said, it's fine. It's okay. I will take care of you and the baby. And that is exactly what he did. So what I see with most women or girls who are so pregnant at that age is they don't have the support that they need.
Oh, okay. I see.
They don't have the support that they need. I mean, Ebenezer, I can tell you that I've been with the father of my children for almost 10 years now.
Wow. That's amazing.
You see? And when most people see us, they're like, you guys still together. You see, because for most people, it's not normal to start dating as teenagers, to fall pregnant as teenagers, and to still be together. 10 years later. You see, like, I think that thing of relationships, it forms something. It forms the type of relationships whereby you end up having negative relationships with your children, with the person that now you had the child with and now that you're no longer with, you see, because now maybe that person is not supportive anymore. Like I said, with my mother and my biological father, they separated when I was only a couple of months old. It happens, you see, and when that happened, my mother was never the type of woman to say, I'm going to court to claim maintenance, or I'm going to be calling your father day in, day out. No, my mother said, I've got a child. This is my responsibility. She started mopping the floor at pep stores when she had me. Today, my mother has been working at Pep for my whole life, I can say, actually, because she started working there when I was 5 years old, when I was still in creche. I was 5 she started working there. And then up until now, she's now a manager of one of their stores. That's how I've been working there. But I never wanted for anything. My mother did everything for me. She took charge. She decided that I had this child. Decision to have this child. No one forced me to have this child. Yes, I had. Does now that make me not want to take care of my child? No. Instead, it will want to make me be a better mother. Let this child now be a driving force behind what I'm doing. You see. So hence the reason I said when I had a child, my mother did not say, oh, because I know the situation that you are in, then I'm going to take responsibility for you.
Oh.
No.
No. Yeah. Wow.
I had to take responsibility for that child.
Wow.
The father of the child had to take responsibility for that child. Everything that child needed. My mother didn't even buy my child a nappy.
Wow.
We had to see to it that my child got everything that she needed. And, I always say I'm blessed because the father of my children, he's 4 years older than me. At that time, he was 22 and I was 19. And he was working, he had just started working at some company. But we were able to get things for the child before the child even came. He was there with me. Every doctor's appointment, there holding my hand. Wow. He was there. We bought the baby clothes, nappies, milk, everything that the child needed, And to tell you the truth, we didn't even take it to my house so that my parents could see it. We kept it at his house. Okay. So when the day came that I had to actually go give birth, my mother phoned him and said she has to go to the hospital. You need to come now, And my mom was like panicked because she thought my child didn't have a vest or even socks or even a hat, nothing. And now here comes the baby father with a plastic full of everything, your buckets, everything that the child needed, So, Ebenezer, the problem is that I see with a lot of young girls that have children and they feel defeated. They feel like now life has stopped due to having this child. It's because they decided to take it that way. Oh, okay. You can decide. That's the thing. As a person, you have a choice. You always have a choice. I can just make you a quick example. There was a girl same age as me, grew up same environment as me, and when we were young, she got pregnant when we were 14. Okay. When she got pregnant, the family of the father's side, they took the child. Okay. So she had no responsibility. Oh. Guess what? At 18, she had a second child. Oh, okay. They also took, from a different family, they took that child as well. At the age of 21, she had a third child. Oh, okay. That family, again, took that third child, not a different family. It's a third different family. They took that child. Okay. Now she had a fourth child at the age of 27. Okay. So now, unfortunately, the person that she got impregnated by, the family was not as well off as the other families. Oh, okay. She had to see to it what to do with this child now that she's got. Oh, okay. And it was the most difficult, horrible time of her life. I can just say that. Oh, yeah. To a point where she actually died. Oh. She passed away and she left a baby that was only 8 months old. Oh. Wow. There were times when I would actually go to her house and I would find them just feeding the baby just water with just sugar. Oh, yeah. Ooh. I can because she didn't know the responsibility of bringing up a child. Yeah, true. Huh. So once you go through the hardships, you will learn not to do it again. Yeah, that's true. Because if you choose to do it again, you will know what you are going to face. Oh, yeah. It is not different with any other child. All children are the same. All children have the same needs. Yeah. And all children require the same responsibility. Yes. So at that point in time, when you bring a human being into this world, you need to be responsible for that life. Yeah, indeed, you have to. Because everything that child will know, everything that child will be, is because they learned it from you. Oh, yeah, indeed. So that's why I chose that. For me, it was worse because I gave birth to a girl. And I'm like, I need for you to be a woman. Oh, yeah. I need for her to be strong. I need for her to have values, you understand?
Yeah.
To understand that life will not always be what you think or what you hope for it to be. And in those times, I need for you to do what needs for you to do in order for you to live and be happy.
Yeah.
So I think that, like you say, it's true with most women that take that gap year. It is a problem because, like I said, once you are a scholar, all you know is just to wake up every day, go to school, sit in a classroom, listen to a teacher, go home. That is your daily life. And once that ends, you find yourself in limbo. You don't know whether you're going left or right.
Yeah.
And once you spend 24 hours, 7 days a week in the township doing nothing,
Yeah.
you will now have new friends who have been doing this township lifestyle thing.
Yeah, more than you.
More than you, and who are more advanced more than you, and who will teach you things that you never even knew existed.
Wow, yeah, true.
So, like I said, it's the same thing for me. I'm not exempt to that. It's the same thing for me. When I stopped going to school and I stayed at home, I had more time for my boyfriend. And that was a problem because I ended up pregnant. And if maybe I was spending more time with my books instead of more time with the boy, things could have turned out differently, you know. But I always say that everything is God's plan, and I can't really say it couldn't or shouldn't have happened. But as it happened, I chose to embrace it. And say, okay, this is the path that God has led me to. So now I have to take a decision. It's not easy, but I do draw strength from God. I do draw strength from my partner, who is an active parent who knows how to bath a child, feed his child. You know, he's not just a father just to say, because he knows how to make a baby. No.
Yeah. Wow.
He's a father. You know, hence that's the reason even when we decided to have a second child, we would actually take shifts at night when the baby was crying. There were times when I would be up. There were times when he would be up.
Okay. Wow.
You know, let other person sleep. You know, like that is a partnership that you choose to do something together.
Yeah.
But when you have a child with someone who's at home, dreaming up nice dreams, and you are there and you're not sleeping, and this child is frustrating you, and now you can't go out with your friends because now you have this baby to take care of. You know, life completely changes. Hence, that's the reason why most people will now feel this is a failure. And you're not supposed to see it like that.
Yeah.
At least I hope not. You're not supposed to see it like that. Like this little life needs to motivate you. It needs to motivate you. I mean, Ebenezer, everything I do it for my kids.
Wow.
I even, there's times whereby I would actually have money and I ask myself, what did I do with my money before I had kids?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know, because every time I have money, I need to get my kids something.
Oh, wow. That's so...
They're always short of something. I need to pay something for school. They need clothes, they need boots, it's cold now, they need this, they need that.
Yeah.
It's always that thing. And I always find myself saying, what did I do with my money before I had kids?
Yeah.
I really don't know. But yeah, I think as you study more on that, you will find that it's actually true, and it's actually sad.
Yeah.
It's actually sad. The one thing I always used to pride myself in, there's this saying that says, when you teach a girl child, you teach the nation.
Yeah, indeed.
So, as women, we possess this power that we can pass on.
Yeah.
And when we as women feel defeated and there's nothing that we are doing with our lives, and we treat our children as these barriers that have stopped us from living the lives of the mind, it actually saddens me because we could actually be doing so much more.
Yeah, indeed.
So much more, you see.
Yeah.
It is not a mistake that this life has been given into your care.
Yeah, it's not.
So you actually now need to care for this life. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not the same with everyone.
Yeah, it's not. And you said something that I loved. You said that you were willing to do everything that you had to do as long as it was ethically so.
That's true.
And most of the time you find that, especially maybe ladies who have got children, or even anyone who's got maybe a child or they've got a family to support, they might not be as wise as you or as principled as you to say that this is the line that I'm drawing. It's principles above everything, and you'll find that maybe sometimes they want to cut corners, like the stories we hear in the news or everywhere. You hear that this woman slept with the boss for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or for changing position. Now, was it purely the environment that you grew up in? Like, as you said that your mother is a very tough woman. Was it purely because of the way she was tough that she instilled within you this sense of responsibility, or is it also played by the fact that you are a very spiritual person who goes to church? And was it both the role of the church and the family, or what was it neither?
I can say it's been both.
Okay.
I'll just speak on the spiritual side. Okay. At that point in life, when you are a teenager, I don't think you really understand what your spirituality is all about. Okay, at least I'll just say with myself, I did not understand at that time. Yes, I was going to church, but I was not really into it.
Okay.
You know, I knew that God is there, God exists. But before that, before I even had my child, it was just like, it was a ritual. It was just a thing that you know that every Sunday you just have to dress up, go to church. So I was not really into it. It's only when I started facing really hard challenges in life that you understand that God is everything. When you really, really have nothing. You know, when you have no one to turn to, when you feel everything is just spiraling out of control, that's when you will learn that God is the source of everything. And with me, I'm really blessed because I always see myself as one of those sheep that God just went looking for. He didn't leave me to find my way to him, you know, but he actually came looking for me. And I would say that the reason for that is because of the way that I grew up with my mother. You know, like I said, my mother is a very strong, hard woman. And unfortunately, with that strength, didn't come affection from her.
Yeah, that's true.
So I did not receive the love, the care that I so desperately wanted. And because I was a stepchild in the home, I think she always felt that she had to treat me in a certain way other than her other children that she had by her husband to not unbalance the life, the marital life in the house, you see. So I would see the treatment of me and them being completely different. I would see the love that she showed them that I so longed to have but never received, you see. So hence I found myself, fortunately for me, in the arms of a man who actually does love me. But it's not always the case with everyone, because when you are seeking affection, sometimes you find yourself in the wrong arms of people who want to take advantage of you.
Indeed, yes.
So I was fortunate enough. That's why I say with my fiance, it's God's plan for him to be in my life. That's why I say God was looking for me. This man is a man that, if I can tell you that he lived in KZN for all his life.
Oh, okay.
KZN Ulundi, which is 7 hours drive from here.
Yeah.
But him and I were able to find our way to each other.
Wow, that's so amazing. Whoa,
how that happened, only God knows.
Yeah, wow.
Because there is no man that, I grew up with guys around me. I grew up with guys, but none of them fulfilled that role.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes a man from far who has come to do something that I did not even think or know it to be possible. And I cannot even say to him that it's you, because I know it's not him. But it's the God in him, the God in me that has brought us together. Because if you really want to make sense of it, it does not make sense to say,
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
How did I end up with you?
yeah.
I'll say that sometimes, like, how did I end up with you? I don't understand.
Yeah.
We are completely different people.
Yeah, wow.
He's one person that grounds me, because I'm very hyperactive, I'm very out there, and he's one person who always grounds me, and I think that also comes from his background. Like I said, he's a very, very traditional man. He's a traditional man. He's very responsible. He's very loving, but he gives me the authority that I need in my life. But not in an oppressive way.
Wow.
In a way that he allows me to be myself. But he still gives me that thing to say, I'm the man, and I will take care of you. I will provide for you. So that's why when I said I'm resigning from my job, he was like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, it's fine. I'll take care of everything as I'm already doing. But it's a partnership whereby if he needs something, I'm there.
Wow.
When he needs something, I'm there. Like we balance each other out.
Wow, that's
and for the life of me, I cannot say there's a formula or there's a secret to this. I only praise God for this.
Yeah.
You see, I only praise God. Let me tell you, one day I was listening to there was a lady speaking on TV, and she said her daughter was getting married, and she said to the son-in-law to be, she said, you are the husband that I was praying for my daughter.
Whoa.
And that taught me for my children that as young as they are, I need to pray for their lives. I need to pray that God brings spouses into their lives that will help them fulfill their purposes.
Wow.
People that, you don't want your children to just have a relationship just for the sake of having a relationship.
Yeah, indeed.
But you want them to have a relationship that will also allow them to have a relationship with God. That will teach them that everything that happens, even this person being in my life, it is not because I know better.
Yeah, wow.
Everything is God's purpose. That's why I say everything that happens, it works together for your good.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yes. So, yeah, my mother, she played a role. There's pros and cons to the role that she played.
Yeah.
But I thank her for it.
Wow.
I really do thank her for it, because I'm a very disciplined person. My mother, even when I was 18, she would still lock the gate.
Wow. Great mom.
She would still lock the gates. Like, at 6 o'clock you need to be at home.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
If you're not at home, they lock the gate.
Wow. Yeah.
So she didn't care how old you are. You were not going to be the boss of my mother.
Mm-hmm.
She was the boss of the house, and that is it.
Yeah.
So you lived by her rules. If you did not like it, you can get out.
Yeah.
That's how I lived. Yeah. So when I look at people that I grew up with who had the freedom that I wish I had at their time, I actually feel sorry for them.
Wow.
Because as much as I felt at the time that my mother was being cruel, my mother was not allowing me at 16 to go and party, but I thank my mother.
Wow.
Because she instilled such discipline in me that when I do something, I know that it is by choice that I'm doing it, and I know that I have to stand for the consequences, regardless of whether they're good or bad.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So everything that I do, I have to be accountable for, and it's even worse when you have lives that you have to also be accountable for. You can't just do things for the sake of it pleases you.
That's true.
But you also have other people that you have to think about. So yes, I think the way that I am really, really both sides, my spiritual and the way I was brought up by my parents, it actually has really a big role.
And you know that I am a person who is big on purpose and how do we find our purpose. And one thing I've learned from you, or I've noticed, is that as we've been having this chat, you seem to be always finding purpose or meaning out of every situation that you go through, whether it's a challenge or whether it's a tough thing that you're experiencing. And we've got so many people who don't have that very same perspective that you have of always trying to find meaning and purpose in whatever they are doing. Like, let's say, for example, maybe someone who got pregnant and they were as spiritual as you are, going to church. One might say that, no, God doesn't exist. Why did God let me fall pregnant? Or things along those lines. And yet, here you are, you experience the same challenges that maybe some of them are experiencing, whether it's through hardship, and you even find like you said, you wanted your mom to show you affection, but she did not show you that affection that you saw other children having. And there are other people who want that also, but they don't have the same perspective that you have of saying that, no, let me not see this as a bad thing, but rather let me see it as something good. Now, what is it that gave you that perspective or helped you to make sure that whatever you're doing, whether it's a challenge or whatsoever, what is it that helped you to always find meaning and purpose in whatever challenge that you are encountering in your life?
Okay. Honestly, I don't know. But I will elaborate on that. I really had no clue as to why I am the way that I am, but I can attest that to always educating myself.
Okay.
So with me always educating myself, being the word of God, allowing God to work in me. I can actually remember a day in church whereby the pastor said, God is everything, even if you don't have a mother or a father or anything, a family or anything, but you can find that in God.
Wow.
And I couldn't understand that, but it is something that I spend my time trying to understand.
Okay.
And for me, it was very difficult because you cannot live like you don't have a mother when you actually have a mother. I had to put myself at a place where I said, yes, I have a mother, but I have the things that I need from my mother. So maybe I can find those things from God. I don't know. Let me see.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was like that for me. Like, let me see, you see. So I just went on that journey. And you remind me, there's a post that I did on my business Facebook page where I said, with every challenge that I face in life, this is how I approach it now. I don't look at it as, why is this happening to me? I always look at it as, what is this trying to teach me?
Wow.
That's how I look at it. So all that understanding, it came from me constantly educating myself, always trying to see other people's views and perspective on life. But more importantly, trying to surround myself with the people that speak the same language as me. People who have maybe experienced what I have experienced. And the thing that I didn't like about the people that had lived the life that I'd lived is it is so sad.
Wow.
They were so sad. They were so drained. They were always complaining. Why doesn't my mother love me? Why didn't she give me the affection that I need? What have I done so wrong? You know, and for me, it was emotionally draining.
Oh, yeah, true.
I'm generally a very happy person. I actually I hate arguments. I hate disagreeing with some. Like, if it was up to me, we would always be happy 24/7, 365. That's me. You see. So when you surround yourself with people that are like you, that have lived the life that you've lived and have the same experiences as you, and when you join that party and it becomes a PC party, it's not a good thing for yourself.
It's not, yeah. True.
And sometimes I think, or I can say, that there's a conscious that tells you that you need to tap out of this environment, because if you don't, you are heading down a very dangerous road, you see.
Yeah.
So I see as people that we often try to find fulfillment and happiness in other people. But this is what I learned. My mother didn't give me what she didn't know.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
She never had that growing up with my grandmother. So she never learned that.
Okay.
So how was she supposed to give me something that she didn't know?
Wow. Yeah.
And she never put herself in a place where she learned how to do it. Because like with me, I don't know affection, but I've taught myself affection by loving me, by accepting me, by looking at myself in the mirror every day and saying, you deserve better. I love you. I make promises to myself all the time. I promise that I will stop beating you up for things that you have no control over.
Wow.
You know, I promise you that I will love you regardless of a stretch mark that you gain or a cellulite. That I will love you for being Lebo. You know, like you are an incredible person. Like God put you on earth for a reason. You are breathing for a reason. You're not just taking up oxygen, you know. And those are things that I have to constantly remind myself. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie and say I don't have days whereby I just feel like the world is on top of me. I do have those days. But I am so blessed. I'm so blessed that, you know, at times when I feel like, is God even hearing me? I have a partner who will hold me by the hand and pray for me when I cannot even utter a word.
Wow.
You know, he's there to pull me up and say, even at times when I don't feel like facing people, I don't feel like going to church, I don't feel like getting out of bed today, you know, sometimes he will let me stay in bed and he will take care of everything. He will take care of the kids and he will just let me have my moment, but then he will not let me sit in my moment for too long.
Whoa, wow.
He will come back and say, now you need to snap out of it. It happened. Yes, I understand. You need to feel what you're feeling. You don't need to cast it aside, because once you start casting things aside, you're not allowing yourself to live.
Oh yeah, true.
You need to, you are having negative feelings. You need to experience those feelings, but you mustn't stay in those feelings.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to snap out of it, because that is a very, very dark place that if you stay in it, nothing will ever go right in your life if you allow yourself to be that kind of person.
True. Wow.
So life is not easy. There's nothing that comes easy, but it's something that you constantly have to tell yourself that you are making an effort
Wow.
to do it, to make it right, to get up, to put a smile on your face, to be positive, to know that everything is working for your good, even when on days when you don't even think God is even hearing you.
Wow.
It's something that you actually have to constantly tell yourself that I know that I might not see it right now. When you live by faith, you don't live by sight. So you just always have to say, God, I know whatever is happening, you're working it for my good. I cannot see it, but I believe it. Wow. Even when it's not easy. But it helps as a person. I always hear rich people always saying, you need to surround yourself with people who live like how you want to live. Not people who have lived like you have lived. No.
The ones you
people that live like how you want to live. You might not be there right now, but that's where you want to go. So if you want to fly like an eagle, you better start having eagle frames.
Wow.
Learn how to fly. You see, so those people will bring you up when you are down, because they know what it's like to be down, and they know what it takes for them to get up. But if you want to live with people who are living the life that you're actually living now, they don't know how to get out of being down.
Oh yeah.
So when you are with them and you are down, what is it actually that you encourage each other with? Nothing, because none of you know any better.
Yeah, that's true.
You see, so people tend to look at other people and think, oh, she's just saying that, like, it's so easy for her, she's got this person maybe that cares so much about her, or that person that is always there for her. At the end of the day, yes, as much as I have this awesome partner who always gives me the strength when I need it, there are times whereby he also needs that strength from me.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And I have to be there to light that candle when it goes off.
Oh yeah, indeed.
I also have to be there. But there are times whereby things happen and I'm not there or he's not there. And in that moment, I need to find myself. I need to pick myself up and say, it's going to be okay. So I always say to people that say to me, yeah, but she's lucky because she has a partner. I say, but it starts with me.
Oh yeah.
It starts with me. Yeah, having him is a bonus. It's not my start and end of it all.
Wow.
I have me. Like, I'm the person that I can depend on. So even when I have days and I feel there's a spirit whispering in my ear, lying to me, telling me all of these wrong things, and I actually have to stand in front of a mirror and say things. I say affirmations to make myself feel good, even when I believe what I'm saying at that time. But I still say it.
Wow.
I will still say it because you know what? My subconscious does not know the difference between something that is happening, whether it's real or whether it's happening to me or not. But it takes whatever I'm telling myself as something that is actually happening to me. So I will stand in front of the mirror and I will only say good things. Even when I don't believe it, I will say good things. And I will say those good things until my subconscious actually repeats itself,
Wow. That's amazing.
That's how I do it. It's not easy to always see the silver lining in every cloud. It's not.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna lie and say if you just do this or if you just pray or no, no. There are days when I don't feel like praying. There are days when I don't hurt, I don't. But I think and I know that we serve a living God. So when I need God, when I need God, He shows up.
Wow.
He shows up when I need Him. But also, I always say to myself, there's this thing, in school when they said during an exam, the teacher's always quiet.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes I think God can only teach you so much. Some things don't need God. They don't need the church. They don't need the Bible. They just need you to make a decision.
Wow.
Because you already know the right from wrong. You already know what needs to happen. You just need to do it.
Oh, yeah. True.
You just need to decide that I'm going to do this.
Wow. Indeed. Wow.
Yeah. So that's what I think. I think sometimes it just needs you, Yeah, just needs you.
Wow. Oh, yeah. No, you've shared with me some very, 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 very important and challenging ideas also. And since we've run out of time, we should definitely have a second episode where we get deeper into this conversation of how then did you go from the environment that you were in, from work, from you deciding to stop going to your job. And
saying we should do a second episode.
Yeah, we should definitely do a second episode where you'll be going deeper, like how then did you turn the whole situation that you found yourself in, whether it was at work or even life, then how then did you use the purpose that you found in your situations and then you turned it into your business.
Definitely, we should definitely book for the second session because right now, as you do know, I've started my own company called Absolutely Digital Agency. So everything that I'm doing there is all the lessons that I've actually learned from being a cashier at Truett to working at a branding and marketing company. So I've taken all the lessons and all the challenges and I've put everything into building this company. But yes, I would definitely love to come back and speak more on building the company and how I identified the need for it. You see, yes. So
I think it would be a great honor for me and even everyone who's listening to this podcast to actually, because you know most of the times, especially when you read books and all these things, you get motivation, but then again you get to that point where you're like, yes, I've got the motivation, but what do I do, or which steps do I take to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yes, no, definitely. I think on our next episode we can actually break that down because that's one thing that I always preach the most is that every hero has a mentor. So you can only do so much by yourself. Sometimes you just need to speak to people or engage to people that have actually gone down the road that maybe you are trying to go down. And you'll get a better understanding of what is happening. I mean, that's why soccer players have coaches, because you always need someone who will give you a direction in everything. But the problem that we find is most entrepreneurs, they just want to do everything themselves and they end up depleting most of their resources and time. And with someone who can actually mentor them, you could have saved a lot of time and a lot of money, you see, because there's a lot of things that you could have avoided doing, you see, yes. So that's why I always say it's always better to speak to someone and get guidance from someone who's actually doing what you are wanting to do. But yes, I'm looking forward to our second episode where we can actually break down the whole process. And hopefully it will help a lot of people.
Yeah, indeed. And thank you very much for taking some time to share with me and the audience who is Lebohang and everything that has made you, whether it was the challenges that you've been through, the successes,